So in these logic apps, we have different options, like we have to create a trigger first. So the trigger is the first element where it is going to trigger our apps, whether it is a daily basis or hourly basis or minute basis. So we have to have a trigger first, then we can have actions. So it could be any sort of actions, like based on APIs. So we have a lot of APIs available under Azure, so we can choose any of the APIs and we can have that API as action. And we have apart from trigger and action, we have a conditional logic, like we have for each loop, we have do and while. So if you want to repeat that action, you can go with this conditional logic and you can set that condition as if this property is made this value, then do this, otherwise keep doing the loop. So we can do that option as well. So this we have to define while creating a logic apps in Canvas area. So we have to define in Canvas area. We don't have any other place to do this type of conditional logic. If you are familiar with the JSON scripts, then you can get this conditional logic or looping statement in JSON, and you can paste that script inside this logic apps. And as you know, we can run this logic app manually. So if you have an on-demand situation, if you have created a logic app in your logic app, if you don't have any recurrence as a trigger, so we need a trigger, but the trigger could be any type of HTTP call or apart from recurrence. So if there is no schedule, then you can easily run this logic app manually, so on demand basis. Or you can schedule this logic app using recurrence trigger. You can set whether you want to have a hourly basis or minute basis or second basis. You can have that option. So that is for to scheduling these logic apps. And the third option is through endpoints. We can start these logic apps from another app. So another app, it could be like HTTP listener. So another app is can be a API app. So from API app you can run these logic apps. So we have three different types of startup options. And we have published these logic apps through portal. So in portal we have created a logic app by providing a name and selecting the app service plan, and we assigned a resource group name. So apart from that, from this actually we can create a logic apps from Visual Studio, and from Visual Studio we can publish these logic apps to your Azure subscription. So since we are talking about some sort of application, so this app is going to reside on app service plan. So since it is app service plan, we can create manually through GUI, or we can create using .NET codes or JSON codes. So for almost all the application related sources, we can do through portal as well as in Visual Studio. I'm going to show how to publish these logic apps from Visual Studio. So once you publish, that logic app will be available in Azure subscription. So there are two ways to publish this. So we have seen how to monitor these logic apps. So we have monitor section. So I'm going to show those things. So this is my logic app. So here if you see, we have different properties. So this is my definition of my logic app. So here I have to place my APIs. Why it is not going? So here we have two different options. One is designer and another one is code view. So at present I'm in a code view. Still you can make use of designer, but due to some issue I have to rectify that actually. But we have seen already how the designer looks like, so I don't want to show that again. And we are talking about monitoring, so we can monitor the apps. So by going to rents today, you can see the history of logic apps. So I have scheduled this logic apps using recurrence. So in recurrence I have selected every 1 minute. If you see the timing, so every 1 minute this logic apps is running. So if you go inside, you can see what are the elements I have placed inside this logic apps. So I have only one element, which is nothing but creating a file in a Dropbox. So I can go and see the status as well here. So if you have multiple elements inside your logic apps, you can see the status of each element. So if it is a failed, then You can see why it has failed. So is there any issue with authorization? So you can drill down and you can see the exact reason why that particular logic app has failed for this particular time. So this is how we have to monitor this. And the other thing is, actually we have a service plan. So based on the service plan, this logic app is going to work. So it is going to reside, it is something like a host. So on this host we have hosted this our logic app. So all the pricing information is based on this service plan. So here I have selected a standard service plan. So still I can make use of the same service plan for creating API apps, mobile apps, as well as web apps. And if you see here, if I created a logic app, I just want to run this on demand basis, then I can go with run trigger. If I don't have any recurrence or schedule, then I can run manually by going to run trigger. If I created and I have run this logic app, so at one point of time I don't want to run this logic apps as a frequently, so I can disable this. So it means we can save some cost by disabling this logic apps. So this is a place to where edit through a designer or code. We can delete this. You want to create one more logical app, like a same structure. So on top of same structure you want to add a few more elements. Then you can take a clone of this. This is nothing but copy of this logical apps. Once you take a copy, then you can add some more integration on it. So we can take a clone and we can add some more elements for your better integration. Then we can move this to another subscription or resource group. So we have more options. So that's it on logic apps. So I'm going to show how to publish from Visual Studio. So just open a Visual Studio and go to new project. And here if you see cloud, so just select cloud. So it's okay. So I have to select cloud here. But go to new project, cloud. So here cloud I have a resource group. So I have to select resource group. So under resource group it is going to show all the possible resources. So here if you drill down you can see logic app. So I can select logic app and then I can click OK. So here it is going to show some different folders where we can see that JSON script. So if you have a JSON script, then you can copy paste here and you can have your own logic app. And from this Visual Studio you can publish to your Azure subscription. So here if you expand this, we have script based on PowerShell and we have a template. So logic app.json is a script based logic app. So here you can place your own JSON scripts. So we have one more parameter. So if you are using any parameter inside this, then we have to define the parameter in this parameter.json file. So once you have done, then you can right click this and you can publish, deploy this, deployment. And here you have to select your subscription details, and this is my logic app template and this is my parameter file, and I'm going to select the existing one and I can deploy. So from here it is going to I have to specify the parameters. So these are the parameters I have defined inside this logic app.json and logic app.parameter.json. So if I know the value, then I can specify that. Here it is just asking logic app name and code apps and plan name. So I can save this property and I can deploy. So it is going to deploy and you can see that information here under logic apps. So this is how you have to publish from your Visual Studio.